The annual pension allowance is the amount you can pay into your pension in a year without any bother, without any restriction generally. And at the moment it's £40,000 in the 16-17 tax year. It has been for a few years. You can pay in, on top of that you can pay an unused relief, but basically it's 40,000. From April 17 onwards it's still 40,000 for most of us. But if you're a higher earner, there's a restriction coming your way that might come as a surprise to a lot of people. A higher earner for these purposes is someone who both earns more than 110 grand a year, plus if you add on any employer's contributions to their salary, that exceeds 150,000. If you fall foul of both those limits, you need to watch out, because if you fall foul of those limits, and for every pound of pension, every £2 of income above 150,000 you earn, you lose £1 of your annual pension allowance. To demonstrate this, we could have the bizarre situation: someone on 150 grand flat salary, no pension contributions from the employer, can pay in 40 grand into their pension. Someone on 200 grand salary with no employer's contribution from the employer, they're 50 grand above the limit. So for every £2 they lose £1, they lose 25 grand off their annual pension allowance. That means they can only pay 15 grand in. So I'll repeat that. If you earn 150 grand, you can pay 40 grand in. If you earn 200 grand in, you can only pay 15 grand in. Some people would say that's bizarre. What happens if that person who should only pay 15 grand in pays more than that? Well, every pound above 15 grand in he pays in, he's going to pay tax on at 45p through his tax return. Come January 19, which is when the tax bills are due for 17-18, a lot of people are going to get tax bills that they don't expect. So if you are a high earner, you really need to take advice from your accountant or your financial advisor and plan what you're going to do with your pensions, because otherwise you're going to find yourself with a tax bill that is not very welcome come January 19.